What is going on, everybody? All right, so today I want to talk about, like you're seeing from the topic, 2.5 thousand subscribers. I want to say thank y'all for watching, for tuning in, all that good stuff as we wait for these notifications to go out. Yes, I see you. First viewer, I appreciate you. First one for tuning in, Mommy's Mailman. So appreciate y'all for watching, for tuning in. Again, we're waiting for these notifications to go out and stuff like that. Hopefully, everybody's having a great Saturday, all that good stuff. We're going to talk about a few things. Nothing real major, just, a few quick updates and things like that. Some interesting stuff, like I said, that I'm working on, that's going to be coming. And, we'll get into all of that in a few because I am excited to share with y'all a few details. Not too much. I'm not going to really show anything yet, but I do want to talk about that and stuff like that. So, like I said, 2.5 thousand subscribers. Damn, that's nuts. I remember just the other day when I was like probably like, man, maybe like less than 200 or something like that. And this is where we are today. And I want to say thanks to each and every one of you, wherever you are, because, it's thanks to you that you motivate me to keep on making this content and putting out these videos. It's not easy. It's a lot of work behind the scenes, but it is what it is. And we're here, and we're still going, we're growing, and we're strong together. What's going on, Pride Tomb 55? Appreciate you for watching. Also, what's going on? Yes, yes. Let's see what else. What else? I saw a Fantastic Four movie yesterday. It was brilliant. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of good things about it, which is good. That's why, like I said, I saw the leak the other day. There's probably like three clips that I saw, and I was like, wow, okay, that looks good. That's why I said, like to me, it's like the OMCU is back, and that's good. It's about time. This industry needs it. I think they're finally starting to, make a U-turn, and they're starting to realize, what, we need to cater to the fans, and because that's what's working. Without the fan base, nothing works, and everything is just completely up in the air. And we've already seen how bad Marvel has been struggling, and this is Marvel we're talking about, Marvel and Disney. So I think they're finally getting their act together, and it's about time. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's just they're getting their act right. So this is the step to like redemption, if you want to say so. That's a good thing when it comes to that stuff. So that's really good. They will be doing a soft reboot after Secret Wars, and they will be focusing on the X-Men. Yeah, that's where everything is heading into Secret Wars. And of course they're delaying right now Doomsday because of course I guess they're just trying to put things together, things that are just going to add up, and in the end it's all going to be a bigger and much larger thing that they're working on. So that's the good thing about that. And more props to them. They deserve it. It's about time, like I said. So I'm excited with what Marvel is doing again. And that's coming from a DC fan. Like I love DC. DC has always been, the brand that I support and I love the most when it comes to like comics and these characters. But Marvel has some good characters also. Not all of them, but there's a handful that I do like and stuff like that. So it's good to see that and to hear fans how they're talking about, how good Fantastic Four is. And of course, that's crushing and destroying Superman right now from James Gunn, which is wonderful to see. Sean, what up? I appreciate you for watching, also for tuning in, everybody that's tuning in and stuff like that. So it's interesting, the way that things are shifting, and now it's Marvel's time to shine again. DC had a while. They had a while to do their things, and they could have gotten together, throughout all this time. But honestly, once again, they slacked. They really slacked. They dropped the ball. And there was another time right before, I want to say right after COVID, during COVID, because of course, when they had the Suicide Squad that came out from James Gunn, they had that time leading up to, I want to say, to more or less when they released the Snyder cut. DC was in a state that they could have been, making a lot of more progress and putting out more content, but they just dropped the ball. And I don't know. I really don't know what's up with DC, honestly. And after the whole Snyder cut, like they've been stale, and they're putting out content, but it's just not interesting. And as you can see, what we're seeing with Superman, like nobody's talking about that right now. Nobody. Everybody's right now shifted their attention over to Marvel again with Disney. with the MCU, and it's interesting to see that. Honestly, um, have you seen Fantastic Four Steps? No, I haven't seen Fantastic Four yet. I want to see it probably a little bit later. I'm not in a rush to see it. I still haven't even seen Thunderbolts. I've been hearing a lot of good things, but I don't know. It's just these are movies that really don't catch my attention. That's why I go straight to like the leaks and the spoilers. I don't mind them. So if y'all want to spoil it for me, I really don't care honestly. So, but from the two scenes that I saw with Galactus and the end credit scene, that's enough to tell me that Marvel, the old Marvel is back. And I was like, okay, that's cool. That's nice to see how they're setting things up and stuff. Screw Superman. The TikTok glazers are insane. Yep, I agree with you. Oh man, all these shills from Superman and James Gunn are straight up glazing, but nothing is coming from it. And I'm glad that Marvel is once again crushing it, and putting DC down again. It sucks, but it is what it is. Until the studio doesn't get their act together and they don't give the fans what we want, then nothing is going to change. And James Gunn is just not the one. James Gunn is not the one and stuff like that. And let's talk about this real quick about DT. All right, so you guys know that I've been talking about for the past 2 days of McFarlane toys, and of course they're out there in San Diego Comic Con and stuff like that. But it's interesting because look at this. In 3 days, all right, the goal is 300,000, and they've already got 357,000. It's at 89%. It's about to be funded within the next day or so. And this is incredible. Some of y'all might be like, oh, but those are just toys and this and that. To you, yes, they're toys. To us, especially us, the collectors, that's a big deal because when you have a crowdfunding type of project, Hasbro's known for this. They do this all the time with Transformers, G.I. Joe, Ghostbusters, and the list continues, right? Mattel tried to do it with a Jurassic World dinosaur that I think it was like a year and a half ago or something like that, and it failed. It didn't work out for Mattel. People didn't support it, so that production got canceled. And what's interesting is that that's the one we just got for this weekend at San Diego Comic Con that I was actually able to get. So it didn't work in the crowdfunding, but they made it as an exclusive for the con, and that thing sold out like in 15 minutes. The point is that crowdfunding sometimes work and sometimes they don't work, and sometimes they put a time frame that it could be a month, 2 months, depending on what they're doing. Hasbro tends to do like a 90-day type of thing, and if you fund it, it surpasses it, of course they're going to put it into production. We're focused right now on a quote unquote dead universe, right, which is the Snyderverse. And for the people that are like, oh, it doesn't make money, it doesn't move, in 3 days it's already about to reach the goal of 400,000. Meanwhile, Superman with James Gunn is struggling, and this is with 2,024 backers, and the number keeps on growing. You might be asking yourself, oh, what do these toys have to do with this? The importance is that it's sending a message to the studio telling them, hey, look, the Snyderverse is not dead. It's alive and it's still strong and it's still going. Because meanwhile, while they're trying to do a crowdfunding, they try to. This is the crazy part about DC and how WB likes to try us and put us to the side, meaning they like to step on the Snyderverse, but when it's convenient, they like to milk us, and that's what they're doing with this. They're trying to say, oh, well, let's see how devoted the Snyder fans are. I guarantee you, it's not going to get funded. And look, we're proving them wrong because it's already at literally the goal of 400,000, and that's in 3 days. So that's telling you, hey, the Snyderverse is still alive, is making money, and people are hungry for it. They really are, especially now with the bitter sour taste that they have with James Gunn, and this whole DCU is just not interesting. People don't care about that. People want good quality. And if Marvel could bring back the old cast, which we already know that they're bringing and stuff like that, well, of course, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans is also going to come back. We know all these characters are going to come back because they're all going to make a big, big debut for Secret Wars. What makes you think that DC, at the state that they are, with James Gunn losing all this money and it's not making them money, what makes you think that they're not going to restore the Snyderverse? Because you think that's what you think? No, you're wrong. With James Gunn, it's not working. It's costing them money. They're losing money. With Zack Snyder, this proves you these are toys and they're making so much money. Imagine once they announce Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3, Ben Affleck's the Batman, Wonder Woman 3, Man of Steel 2, Black Adam, even though Black Adam is not technically part of the Snyderverse, but what he was doing, yo, I applaud him. I seriously do. A lot of people don't like to give credit, but yo, thanks to The Rock, he did what he had to do and he brought Henry Cavill back. So say what you want, it's the same Superman from the same DCEU. It's not a different version. It's the same actor and it's the same timeline. So to me, yo, bring that in there too. See what I'm saying? So people are still hungry for that. They want that, and it's showing you that these toys, there's money there. There's money to be made. And if they announce these movies and they do like Marvel, hey, look, we're gonna restore the Snyderverse and go back. Yo, you have guaranteed money that it's gonna cross into the billions. I'm telling you, because people have been waiting for all this time, and it's already proven by now. You know, without Zack Snyder, they're losing money. They really are, and for this to be almost fully funded in 3 to 4 days, this is gonna be probably tops at 5. This is gonna be wild. This is wild. This is again history being in the making. You know, honestly, it's crazy. It's nuts. You know, but at the same time, it's beautiful to see that. How you doing? What's up, Raheem? Appreciate you for watching. I'm here chilling, chilling, baby. Just here vibing with y'all and good stuff. We're just here hanging out and all that. The true DCU must return. Hell yeah, and it is. It is at the rate that it's going. It's definitely gonna make a comeback. This is why all these James Gunn Glazers are straight up crying and complaining. Oh, you know, oh, give up, blah blah blah. The same crap. We don't have time for you. Accept the fact. Zach is going to be back. The Snyderverse is going to make a comeback. The Air Cut's going to get released, and eventually, once James Gunn's contract in 2026, um, you know, it's about to expire. Don't think that they're going to renew it. They're not. They're just not going to. Why? Why would a company do that? The cornball sweat writers are hating on Fantastic Four to deliver the garbage movie. Yeah, you know what's crazy? That those James Gunn cultists. Wow, there's something special. Honestly, they don't know what to pick and choose when they're arguing. They're so confusing. They don't even know what themselves are fighting for. And it's funny to see how they all are. And then they want to come out with invalid excuses and try to blame others, but they don't know how to take accountability. But again, it's beautiful because they didn't show up for all these movies that when before, you know, Superman, and they didn't show up for Superman, you know, because I what happened? I thought they were gonna make $1 billion. How come nobody that said that it was going to make $1 billion is saying anything? No, they're all silent. They're all quiet because they know that they did not win. They not win. They didn't succeed, and it didn't come out to the plan that they were trying to get. I prefer Man of Steel over the new Superman, but I can't imagine the actors are desiring to come back to DC. Oh, they'll come back. Money talks. Always remember that. Money talks. If Michael Keaton is like what 72, and he was able to come back for the Flash and reprise his role as Batman in the wrong universe, because this is not his universe, and I get it, it's from the, you know, from the multiverse and whatnot. They should have just focused with Ben Affleck on the Flash. If Michael Keaton could come back after all these years, what it's been like 30 something, and he could wear the whole bat suit. Batman is what 50 something, but yeah, you have the cast from Peacemaker that are old as shit, almost in their late 50s, but that's okay, right? That's okay. We can allow that. No, there's no excuses. I'm done with the excuses. They're ready to come back. Corn Sweat, the writers never watched Zack Snyder's DCU movie, and it shows. They said Henry Cavill Superman doesn't save people. Yeah, they just, again, they don't like to be proven wrong, and they don't like that. So we have to keep on proving them wrong. Fantastic Four is doing gangbuster in the box office. James Gunn's Superman is DOA. Yep, we knew it. We knew it. And then on top of that, you know what's the funny part? That they love to glorify Superman and James Gunn. Oh, like he's some type of DC savior. Oh, he's the one that was going to make the change, right? And they're not making the money that they expected. And it's funny because James Gunn is like, oh, it doesn't have to make a certain amount of money, you know, and blah blah blah. Come on, come on, James, accept it. The studio wants money. The studio needs money, and it's funny because now they need with these McFarlane toys to be funded so they could put out that product and fund their DCU. But it's crazy because how come they got Robert Pattinson's McFarlane toy of the Batmobile, and there's one more too that they just announced at San Diego Comic-Con. How come those don't get crowdfunding, huh? But I guarantee you, both of those Batmobiles are going to be on clearance like before the holiday season. I guarantee you that. Meanwhile, the Snyderverse, it sells and it moves, and you're never going to see it on clearance. It's very rare to see something in clearance because probably a store, but on its own, you're not going to see that on clearance. You're already seeing Superman merchandise before the movie came out on clearance. It's right now on clearance too at Walmart's. So if you want to get those figures, go right now because Walmart and Target, they're doing some massive clearance and people are finding those things. I don't care about them. I don't want that in my collection, so it's not nothing that I really need in there. Despite what you think of Gal Gadot Ezra, I don't think the general audience is excited to see them in a film. It'll be seen as controversial at best. You know what? Screw that. Screw that. It doesn't matter because people still want to see them. When you put realistic situations into movies, that's how you see it, that point of view. I don't see it like that. I see it as, yo, entertain me. That's all I care. And make me forget about what's going on around the world. I agree, money talks, but there's other ways that can make money as well. Cavill loves Warhammer. I can imagine. I can't imagine him leaving his future Warhammer on Amazon for DC. I mean, he had left The Witcher for DC at Netflix. So, and then WB screwed him over again. Again, it's all about money. It's all about money, my friend. In this industry, that's what it is. Sadly, it's just about money. These actors, these actresses, they'll come back as long as the price is right. That's exactly what that is in this industry. Doctor Fate in but is in DCU, but not Black Adam. Gunn is something else. Yeah, now he's talking about he wants to bring in Doctor Fate and stuff. Dude is straight up just picking and choosing who he wants to bring. I'm telling you, what James Gunn is trying to do now, what I'm seeing is that he's just trying to leave a mess before he leaves and goes back to Marvel. I'm telling y'all, mark my words. I guarantee you that James Gunn is gonna be back at Marvel and he's going to make another Guardians of the Galaxy and it's going to be in Secret Wars and probably at the end of Avengers Doomsday. Watch, I'm telling you, that's gonna happen with watch because remember, James' contract is supposed to expire next year in November 2026. Literally, it's about a year and like probably like 2 months at the time that we are right now. So things are gonna shift, things are gonna change. I'm telling y'all, like don't think that it can't happen. It could happen. Amy Adams is a better Lois Lane. Yeah, yeah, they really are. Like I won't lie. There's Rachel in this new movie. I mean, she's beautiful and stuff like that. I can't take that away from her. But the way that she portrayed her role in that movie, I was like, yeah, I'm just not feeling it. I mean, nothing against her and stuff like that, but again, it's just the direction of James Gunn and stuff like that. But yeah, I prefer Amy Adams. Both of them are beautiful, beautiful, but it's just Amy had it more on lock with Superman and that connection and stuff like that. Batman and Robin Batmobile is better than Robert Pattinson's Batmobile. I agree with you. I agree with you, man. Robert Pattinson's Batmobile that straight up belongs in the next Fast and the Furious. Gal never spoke about what's going on in the Middle East. That's on some shills, not her. Yeah, exactly. It's like the shilling everywhere always tries to ruin everything, and it's wild. And I won't even get into that because I don't even talk about that. Not my thing. Man of Steel 2 needs to happen. Imagine if we had the X-Men films and DCEU lead movies releasing in the same year. Yeah, that would be wild. That would be wild, honestly. And I think that's where they're probably heading over with Disney and stuff like that. We already saw a tease of it with Wolverine and Deadpool, and look at how much money they made. So you know they did what they have to do, and they capitalized, and that's well done. That's bravo. Man of Steel 2 could literally save the superhero genre. Yeah, I agree with you. I really agree with you. That's exactly what I think could happen. And at the way that they're going, if they do that, yeah, that they can redeem themselves. Yeah, but Henry left The Witcher because he didn't like how the writers were taking the show. Yeah, I guess, but let's not knock him down because he was excited to come back because when he announced that he was going to be back, because of Black Adam and stuff like that. It's just the studio. They love screwing people over and stuff. How can James Gunn say he hates Black Adam yet shoehorn his wife in that movie? Exactly. Exactly. I get what you're saying. Make it make sense. Yep, it's James Gunn. He's just picking and choosing. He's a liar. That's why I don't believe a word that he says. What is it? Do you think we'll get a solo Ben Affleck movie on HBO? I think we're gonna get something for sure. Something juicy is coming, and I think it is gonna be at HBO. We're gonna be seeing it. Like I've been telling y'all, like Unfortunately, the future is moving fast, is moving digital, and it's moving online. A lot of people are not down with that. I'm one of them, but it is what it is. That's just what the future is. The future is going to be AI. The future is going to be all digital, and everything is going to be streamed. And we're seeing that. You see it with wrestling, with pay per views. You see it with Netflix. You see it with all these streaming services. I mean, Netflix is the pioneer when it comes to streaming. And of course, you have PlayStation and the PlayStation Network that, it's ridiculous that they're charging you over $100 for you to play, these games and have a membership so you can play with your friends online. They know that that's the future. They know that people are willing to pay. So if these companies can do it and get away with it, what makes you think that these movies and the movie industry can't do the same? That's the future. I'm telling you. Why would HBO Max create a quote unquote, library online? I mean, the downfall is that whenever they want, they can remove content. And, I've heard people say, hey, my what is it, digital media, it's gone because it's a license. It happens with the gaming industry all the time. And the movie industry is the same thing. So can it go to HBO Max? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's what I think something is really cooking. And in due time, I think that's where everything is gonna head. And in the end, I think this is just me. I think Comcast is gonna low key buy them all out. They're gonna end up owning WB. That's what I'm thinking. The new DC universe isn't DC, it's just the James Gunn universe. Yep. Yep. I agree with you. That's exactly what it is. It shouldn't even be called straight up DC, it should just be called James Gunn's universe. That's it. Oh, that's why I like my physical DVDs and games. They can't take it away. That's true. They can't take it away, but you know what they can take? Because it's happened to me. I'm not sure if it's happened to you, but if you have a game, even if you own the physical, you still have to do an update because and they can control it from there. They can remove content. Like that's the bad thing about all this digital stuff. Like there's codes embedded now on the disc that when you put in your PlayStation or whatever, they can control it, meaning that they can change the on the other side, codes and stuff like that. So I mean, it's shady. It's really shady and stuff like that. So it is what it is. Superman in 2 weeks worldwide only made 409 million. Yeah, that's pathetic. Honestly, that's sad. But then again, everybody was like, "Oh, it's gonna make $1 billion." Where's that $1 billion at? Oh, that's right, it didn't make it. That's why I play multiplayer games on PC and single player games on PS5. F pain to the plate. F pain to play online. Yeah, I know. I agree with you with that. Yeah, it's hard though. Sometimes they be putting some good stuff that I'm like, damn. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to buy it. Like it sucks. I guess. But yeah, I get you where you come from with that. They're right. They're riding the ship when they went back to HBO Max. Yeah, yeah. They're finally steering back its course. So hopefully it does work for them and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens with that. It's just things are changing. Everything is just shifting and changing left and right constantly. Physical media all the way. Yeah, and talking about physical media too. I know there's a rumor going around that it apparently seems that WB wants to bring back physical media because they've lost so much money. And that's the bad thing about this. Like there's good and bad about physical media. Physical media is because you own it, you have something physical and you can like literally enjoy it. And the bad thing about physical media is that it takes up space. It's like if you have 100 DVDs or games or whatever, or DVDs or Blu-rays, whatever, all of that takes up space. It's beautiful to have them and stuff like that. But then when you run out of space, you're like, damn, what do I do now? That's the advantage of having, I guess, digital. I like both, honestly. I have both, digital and physical. So it just, I guess you pick what you like, but they need to go back to the physical media because that's I was at Walmart yesterday, and I was looking at the shelves, and I was like, damn, all these CDs, all these DVDs, all these Blu-rays, and they even have vinyls. And I was like, damn, it's nice to see that. And I'm like, damn, but they're not really moving. It's like you see so much stuff that's overstock. I'm like, why are they still producing so much of this crap? It's like in the sense of if this doesn't sell, why are you still producing it? You get what I'm saying? Like put out stuff that it's selling. Like for example, like there was a shitload of GTA 5 games because they're on sale right now. So anybody that wants it, get it right now because they actually have it on sale for like 20 bucks, 19 bucks at Walmart. And they had a bunch for PS4 just stocked. And I was like, damn, do I really need this game again? I'm like, I already have the PS4 version. Do I really need the five? I'm like, that's how they get us. They love to remilk us, and it's like we pay for it sometimes, and it's like that's pretty nuts, you know. It's pretty wild. I take whatever media costs less and works for me. Good. If that's what works, perfect, perfect. That's a good thing. Zack Snyder should direct Shazam. You know what? I would love to see the same director that did Shazam under the guidance of Zack Snyder. Imagine Zack Snyder overseeing, I forgot his name. I think it's David Sandberg or something like that. I don't remember now. That director that did Shazam, the first one was good. The second one, clearly you could tell that James Gunn influence was all over it because even he said it. There was an article out there that came out. He was like, "Oh, James wanted it his way." And he was giving notes and stuff like that. We already know what James is known for. We're giving these famous notes, and now he's doing it to Matt Reeves. So that's what he does, you know. So, but yeah, I would like to see that. That would be dope, honestly. I think that Zach will take the character much more serious and let the director do his thing. But like eventually, I would love to see Shazam with Zachary Levi, but under the guidance of Zack Snyder, against, of course, The Rock as Black Adam, and of course Henry Cavill as Superman. That right there, boom, that's straight up. That's over $1 billion you're gonna make at the box office, easily. Easily. I just had the PS Plus for more games. Yeah, if that's what you enjoy, good. Like that. It's all about what you enjoy. So that's what matters. Cornball Sweat and Patterson are garbage. Their merch doesn't even sell. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. It really doesn't even move. They don't even put out stuff. Notice that they don't put out, oh, let's remilk it and stuff, because they know they can't milk nobody with that. They got you one time, but here we are 12 years later, and they're still, let's milk the Snyder fans again because they know they're gonna pay for it, and they know they can get us. I wasn't gonna give in to that crowdfunding. I'm gonna be real with y'all, but I gave in because I'm like, I want that Batmobile. I don't need the Justice League one. I already have the one from Mattel. That's the big one without the lights and stuff like that. So I was like, damn, I need that Batman versus Superman one. I don't have that. And it's in black. I was like, hell yeah, I need to back that up. And I backed it up. I backed it up a few days ago. And I ain't got no shame. And it's for a good cause, it's for what we want. Telling them, hey, we got money. That's not the problem. It's just give us what we want. And that's what they're doing. They're like, all right, we're gonna give you what you want, but let's see if you all, talk where your mouth is, and we're shutting them up because in 3 days it's almost fully funded. You get what I'm saying? You got these James Gunn cultists, they can't accept the fact that we're winning, we're succeeding, and it's like, yo, these are toys. Imagine when the Snyderverse is back, and Zach and WB announces, yo, or whoever is gonna put it with DC, yo, we're going back to what was working. Boom, let's go, baby. That's it. It's business. They're gonna make money. Some games aren't fully on this, so they sometimes need the internet connection to download the entire game. That's BS. Yeah. Suicide Squad, K the Justice League, garbage game. They should have just put that for free. And look at how bad that tanked, That was on clearance like probably like 3 months within the 90 days and stuff like that. So it is what it is. Pedro, what's up? Restore Snyderverse all day, baby. All day. That's exactly what we're fighting for, and we're gonna get it in due time. What happened to the stream from a few days ago? I deleted that, man, because there were so many trolls. So yeah, I wasn't gonna let that shine out there, honestly. Like trying to do good things, but then you got these trolls, and they know who they are. They're probably watching right now. Screw y'all. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm not even worrying about that. We're here. That's all that matters. We're here, winning. Hell yeah, you already know. I highly recommend Claire. What is it? Obscure Expedition 33. Is everyone looking for game recommendations? All right, cool. I'm gonna have to check that out. See what's up with that. All right. I like both physical. Well, yeah, physical. Okay. Cool, cool. Yeah. All right. I saw some grown cornball getting ready to cry because he likes Superman movie. People overrate something so much. Grown man crying over corny Superman movie that's not good. Yeah, I mean, to each their own. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, probably, who knows? Who knows why? Like that person saw it as something that is touching. Who knows what went through their mind, their heart, and stuff like that. It is what it is. I won't knock it down because I've seen some movies, and my grown ass, I'll be like, damn, it brings tears because it's like not tears of like sadness, tears of joy. It's like, yo, I can't believe I actually saw this. Like for example, one good example is the last movie we saw of Transformers, the live action, Rise of the Beast. when you see Optimus Primal, when he's with the Maximals, and then they played that. Look, I'm getting chills just telling y'all right now. When you see him like talking, and then you see Optimus, and then you see them all together, and then you hear the music from the old Transformers mix, like a remix. I was like, yo, I was like, damn, like I wanted a tear. I was like, damn, that's beautiful. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, that's good. Maybe it was nostalgia hitting me. I don't know, but it was just beautiful. I was like, damn, but that's the beauty of I guess this industry when it comes to games, movies, comics, whatever it is, because sometimes it touches us one way, shape, or the other, and stuff like that. So it is what it is. As long as we enjoy what we enjoy, that's all cool. I like both physical and digital. You can find on physical. Make it out of print. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Keep going down. Trying to keep up with y'all and stuff. The nice thing about people switching to digital means it's easy to build to a physical collection. I still hate that trend though. Yeah, yeah. It's like, and then when your memory gets backed up, it's like you gotta get another hard drive and stuff like that. So it's 50-50, good and bad. So on both. How are you a grown man straight up crying over Superman movie? That's corny flick by James Gunn. Yeah, yeah. I mean, to each their own, I guess. you know. Congratulations on your 2.5 thousand, man. Yeah, appreciate you. Appreciate that, Jose. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. We've been here for a while. Yes, I had this account for years, but I never took it serious as I've been taking it serious the past 2 years maybe that I've been very active. And it's wonderful to see how many people are here. Like it's incredible. It's incredible. You all motivate me. You all fuel me and stuff like that. And that's why we're here. We're just here doing what we got to do. We're not gonna agree sometimes, and that's cool. That's cool. That's what we are. We're fans. We talk about it. um, we like what we like. As long as we all keep it respectful and cool, that's all that matters. But again, thank you, to each and every one of y'all too. You heard James Gunn doesn't know the middle name of Superman. Yeah, I saw that. Even I didn't know about you directing a movie without knowing the character. Yep, that's James Gunn's for you, and that's DC, which I have no clue how they have him in charge. Restore the Snyderverse, Fabian. Hell yeah, you already know it. Yes, sir. That's what we're doing. We're trying to fight for that. I wonder how Man of Steel 2 would have been under the direction of Michael Bay. You know what? I want to know how that would have been too. I could guarantee it would have been much more better than where it's at right now with this James Gunn and his mess that he has going on right now. Completely, I'm curious. I wanted to know what would Michael Bay have cooked up with Henry Cavill, because that's what they wanted. They wanted Henry Cavill before this whole corn sweat and this whole thing with James Gunn. I want to know what the hell Michael Bay was going to cook with that. Like, you imagine him. Yo, they tried to contact him, and he had to turn it down, obviously, because I know he's busy with the Transformers brand and stuff like that. So that on its own, it's a big toll. Like that's massive. The Transformers IP is huge, and remember, he's producing it, so it must have been hard for him to be like, yo, I could direct and produce, Transformers, but producing Transformers, but also working on a Man of Steel 2 script. That would have been a lot. I'm being honest with you. That would have been a lot of work. So I think he did the right thing by turning it down, because probably his schedule wouldn't allow him to fully give 100%. And once Mike and Pam saw that, they were like, you know what? Nah, he's a real busy man. So let's just go with something else. Unfortunately, we have what we have right now with James Gunn, which it sucks. But I wanted to see what he had cooking. That one guy was using racial slurs. I had to leave the stream. I don't deal with that. Yeah, I know. It's just like I said, it's pointless. We don't focus on that. We focus on the positive. We focus on the good. We focus on growing, baby. That's all we focus on over here. We don't got time for trolls. We got time to win, because that's all we do. Like the music, all we do is win, 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 because that's all we do. The Wild Robot made me cry. It's such a great film. Yeah, I mean, you see, that's what it is. There's movies out there that touches in a way or another, and it's incredible. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now that we're talking about this, right? I'm talking about emotions, um, with movies, and you could probably hear a song and it touches you in a specific way, meaning that it'll just hit something in your mind, probably, like something growing up, something recent, probably something you've seen, probably something, you're going through, who knows. And there's been movies, there's been games. I'm not ashamed. I've played games, I've watched movies, I've read books, I've seen, like movies, shows or whatever, and I'll cry like a punk. I'll be like, damn, yo, like why? Because it's touching. That's exactly what cinema's about. When you have anything, a book, you know, anything that you're watching or reading, or music, we're human. You're connected with that story. So when you see these characters off screen, or like they completely take them out, it's like, damn, you know what? It's because you were connected with that story. You were really deep into that, and seeing that just coming to an end, it's like, damn. Or not even an end. Probably they won and they succeeded, and yo, you're just happy, so it is what it is. But that's what this industry does to us, so that's good. Cornball, cornball sweat will be forgotten by the end of the year, just like how the masses don't care about Pattinson. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna forget about that. Honestly, we're already forgetting about it. People are not talking about it like they were 2 weeks ago when they were all shilling and they were getting that paycheck. Now they don't got no money, so they're all quiet now. Man of Steel 2 will come one day, I hope. Oh yeah, for sure. We're gonna get it for sure. For sure, we're gonna get that one day. I have faith and I have hope that we're gonna see it the same way that we got the Snyder cut. If you can't have Snyder make a Man of Steel 2, which director would you give it to? That's a good question. That is a good question. Because seeing what Michael Bay, that he was, they wanted him, but of course, probably, my guess is that he didn't turn it down because he couldn't do it. I think he just turned it down because his schedule was too crazy and he would have been overwhelmed. But I would have wanted to see what Michael Bay had cooking with that, honestly. That would have been something that I really would have wanted to see. Um, I would say, man, that's a hard one right there. Honestly, I don't even have right now. I can't even answer that. Now you got me thinking. Now you're gonna make me do homework and be like, damn, I want to respond to Spider Manny and be like, yo, like who would have been a good director to do Man of Steel 2? Because there's so much talent out there. I would maybe now that we're still on the topic, just because he's coming to the top of my head, maybe I want to say Guillermo del Toro. He did an amazing Pacific Rim, and it was just awesome. Like that movie is like freaking amazing from beginning to end. Everything in that movie was good, and I'm like, damn. Coming to my head, he's one that just like that's crazy. From everybody that I can think of right now, I think to me, I would like to see what Guillermo del Toro could do with Man of Steel 2. That's what I want. I want to give you that answer. I would love to see, and I think that Guillermo del Toro would be fitted for Man of Steel 2 to direct it. That's just me. Can you review K-pop Demon Hunters? It's a great movie. I cried like a baby watching this movie. The movie's on Netflix. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of good things about that. I could check it out. I could check it out. I like me some anime and stuff like that. So it's just making the time for it and stuff, because I know these shows can take up so much time. I still haven't even seen Squid Games season 2 and 3. From what I've been hearing, it's kind of like, huh. But yo, I remember the first one. That thing had me hooked, and they're long shows, so But yeah, I could check out this and see what I could talk about it and stuff like that. That's a good choice. Yeah, he just came to the top of my head. I don't know why. He just popped in my top of my head. Pacific Rim Godzilla crossover. Hell yeah, hell yeah. That I would love to see. That would be something that that would be nuts. That would be completely nuts to see. Do you like Michael Keaton Batman? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I grew up with Michael Keaton. That's the Batman that I grew up with. I remember watching Adam West. I don't go that back, but when I was little, I would watch in the TV when they would give, the movie from Batman from Adam West. And even as a little kid, I hated that Batmobile. I didn't like that Batman. I didn't like that. I didn't like none of that. It was just all so silly. And that's me being a kid. I was like, damn, this thing, it's like too stupid. And that's me as a little kid. I remember that. And especially when you see like Batman walking around with the, that bee, and he throws it in the ocean and it goes off and stuff. I was like, man, this is so cheesy. Like I just couldn't get into it. And once I saw Michael Keaton with the '89 movie, I was like, yo, like this is dope. And then when we got Batman Returns, that's my movie from Keaton, straight up. Between '89 and '92, yo, Batman Returns all day. Like screw '89. '92 is where it's at, honestly. That's my movie right there. That right there. Yo, like I watch Batman Returns and I know the lines when they're talking, when they stop, when this is gonna come on, when the song, like literally the whole damn script from the top of my head. I don't know it now, but I have to watch it, and even with the music and stuff. Yo, now for that, I think I'm gonna have to go and watch that movie again because that's how much I love Michael Keaton in Batman Returns. And then after that, we got everything else, with what is it, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, then Christian Bale. I was like, all right. They were like whatever. I was never a fan of all those Batmans. And once we saw and we got with Zack Snyder and we saw Batman, I was like, whoa, hold on. I was like, yo, hold on. What the hell? What did I just saw? It just got my attention instantly. Because I guess it got like a more modern take of what Michael Keaton's Batman was, pumped with steroids, and we got what we got with Batman versus Superman. And since then, yo, I've been a fan. The costume, everything, especially the car. Before anything, when I saw that car, the Batmobile from Batman versus Superman, when Zach first teased it when it came out back then, I was like, yo, that is the freaking car he's gonna be driving. Hell yeah. I was like, that's the only thing I'm looking forward to of that movie at that time. And when I saw that scene, I was like, damn, that did not disappoint. That was freaking amazing. The same thing with Michael Keaton. Um, while it's open for Fantastic Four, hell yeah. Hell yeah, it's crazy how people are saying, "Oh, now that the Snyder fans are supporting the DC, what is it, the MCU," and meanwhile they were going at it and stuff like that. It's not about that. It's about Superman has to be at the bottom on everything. So, we're talking with our wallets. Joseph Kosinski would make a great director for Man of Steel. I'm not familiar who that is. Name me a movie because I can't remember from the top of my head right now. I would have to see like a movie of him. I like when a good movie comes out. It tells you who the grifter are and the real ones are. Yeah, exactly. That's what this industry is about. When it gets your attention and when you're connected with it and stuff like that. Keaton owns Bale and Pattinson. Hell yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I've never seen Squid Games. The first season was so popular, it completely turned me off from it. You got to watch the first one. I'm telling you right now. Watch the first season of Squid Games. 2 and 3, I don't know. I haven't seen it, but season one, yo, watch it. I'm telling you. I said the same thing before I even watched it, and I was like, damn. When I saw the first episode, I was hooked. I ended up watching it twice because that's how good it was. Sergeant, what's up? How are you, my fellow amigos? We're good. We're good. We're all just here, just hanging out and vibing today, celebrating at the same time. Just here, hanging out and all that goodness. Fantastic Four was amazing. The female Silver Surfer was a badass. Nice, nice. That's good to know. I'm glad that they're finally getting away from that whole agenda type of stuff. So, that's all we need. We just need good entertainment. I don't care if it's what character. Just just entertain me. That's it. I want to see a Michael Keaton Batman beyond the movie. Yeah, we were supposed to get that after the Flash, but thanks to James Gunn, he screwed everything up and he ruined the plans. Squid Games is one of the best series on streaming. Yeah, and when that music comes on, when you're watching it, oh man, it's about to get real. It's like, oh yo, when you hear that, it's like it's crazy. I love the character development in Batman versus Superman. It was truly amazing. Yeah, it really was. That really was. That's why when you see the ultimate cut, it's like, damn, like WB should just release the ultimate cut from the beginning because that's how awesome it is. It's just pure badass. It's completely amazing. I enjoyed the theatrical cut, but of course, the ultimate cut is 10 times better. Joseph is the Top Gun Maverick director. Oh, okay, okay, that person. All right, cool. I haven't seen the most recent Top Gun. I know it was really good. I've heard the music score and stuff like that, but yeah, I heard a lot of good stuff about it. So I'm probably gonna have to what do you call it, check. I'm definitely gonna have to check it out. I gotta catch up, man. I just gotta make up time and stuff like that. Tomorrow we shall see how Fantastic Four performs. If it doesn't make it to 450 to 500 million, Venom: The Last Dance will be a superhero genre last dance at the box office. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. I have a feeling it's gonna do good. I know I've been hearing that it's doing really good, so I think it's gonna pull through a lot better than what Superman has. Make the Batflick movie with Deathstroke. Hell yeah, that I want to see. That right there is a must. The only closest thing that we got to see something like that was in Arkham Origins when you see that trailer with Batman going up against Deathstroke. That right there, chef's kiss. That right there, oh my god, just like everything on that I think it was like a 4 minute trailer. Damn, that the whole movie should have been like that for that game. That's just freaking amazing. It's sad the female Silver Surfer probably died, but maybe she'll come back and we can see there's a relationship with Neron Rad. Probably. That's what I'm telling y'all. All of this is going to change for Secret Wars. I'm telling you right now. It's pretty obvious. Secret Wars, we're going to see everybody. Everybody. I'm talking about everybody. The ones that you thought were gone, nah, they're going to be back too. You're going to see Black Widow. You're going to probably see Black Panther. It's probably going to be played by another character or just a new version or something like that. But we're going to see all these characters. All these characters that quote unquote, are gone right now, they're going to come back for Secret Wars. I'm telling you, Secret Wars, we're not ready for that. I'm telling you right now. If you're not familiar with that comic, yo, Secret Wars is nuts. If you think Endgame was nuts, that's nothing. Secret Wars is everybody's in that bitch. Everybody. Literally everybody. That's gonna be wild. But I can't wait. I can't wait to see that, honestly. This is why it's now time for WB to bring back and restore Snyderverse. They need Justice League 2 and 3 from Zack Snyder to be able to go up against that type of level of like competition, if you want to say, because James Gunn ain't gonna be able to pull that off. I'm telling you straight up, he's not. He's not. And James Gunn by that time he's gonna be back at Marvel doing his Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that. The only reason I saw the Flash was because Michael Keaton. Yeah, a lot of people did, but unfortunately they didn't get the money that they expected. So what a shame. I would love to see a Batman Beyond movie. Same here. Same here. We're supposed to, but yeah, again, WB being WB, I don't know how they screw things up. I heard Fantastic Four basically one shot Superman at the box office. Oh man, I literally just pictured everything you just said. Yo, that's a good one. That's a good one, man. Oh damn, y'all are awesome. Honestly, Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League animated movie is awesome. Nice, nice. Yeah, it's that new one that came out or something. I know I've been seeing ads and stuff like that, so that's pretty interesting. I heard James Gunn was trying to say Superman isn't known, so that's why it flopped. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, James Gunn always gonna come out with some excuse and try to say something that's really unnecessary, and it just makes him exactly look like the ass that he is. It's like how the hell you running and you're freaking the head of DC Studios. You don't know the middle name of freaking Superman, and then on top of that, you're the one running and making the movie. Yo, come on, man. Like, come on. It's like that's the part where it's just like, man, like really, that's what you're really gonna do and stuff like that. It's nuts. But again, that's what this studio wanted. They wanted that. They got it. And it's being served well at the box office for them. They thought they were gonna make $1 billion. It didn't work. We told you. We tried telling you. They wanted they wanted to get away from the Snyderverse to prove their little point and fill that ego and be like, yeah, we're gonna prove those Snyder fans that they're nothing. We're gonna make $1 billion. Everybody was confident it's gonna make $1 billion. Where's your $1 billion at? I'm waiting. We're all waiting. It didn't make $1 billion. Boo hoo hoo. What happened? What happened? Look, I'm looking at this thing with the McFarlane thing, and this is interesting. This is why I want to keep y'all updated. I've noticed a lot of people are not talking about this. I'm the only one pretty much bringing you these updates on these toys, and it's crazy, but it's about sending the message financially. The numbers went up even more. It's at $358,000, and that is in 3 days. It's 89.74% funded, and this is in 3 days. They still need 26 days to go. This is about to get fully funded literally in less than a week. When you have, let's be real, the pioneers of crowdfunding, with the toy industry is Hasbro, right? They love to put out their HasLab projects and stuff like that. It usually takes about a month, 2 months tops. And some of them I've backed up. Others I haven't because, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna back it up. But seeing what McFarlane is doing in 3 days to fully fund a campaign, they wanted 400,000. They're literally there. They're at 358,000 $100,000. And this is all in 3 days. 3 days. Think about that. Toys are selling and people want it. It's not even out. This is just a demand saying, yo, I'll give you money up front, you fund it, and then we get the product. All right. Now, meanwhile, Superman at the box office is struggling. Let that sink in. They're struggling at the box office. They're not making money. I guarantee you, the moment that they say, yo, we're restoring the Snyderverse, watch how their stocks go up high. All the attention, everybody's going to start talking again. Because all those people that said, oh, it wasn't going to happen the same way that they said for the Snyder Cut, and we proved them wrong. Yeah, that's the same thing that's happening with this. It's telling you, speaking in large volumes, telling you exactly where the money is at. Restore the Snyderverse. James Gunn is a liar. Yep, James Gunn is a Pinocchio since day one. James Gunn fans are mad, mad toxic. They're supposed to be fans of Superman, who represents hope and kindness. Yet they will openly talk about. They will talk bad about Zack Snyder. Yeah, they are. They're very very completely disgusting. They've said some nasty things. Man, if you see some of the comments that I have to like literally filter, it's nuts. It's nuts. You know, it's really really crazy. James Gunn is full of it. Yep, he really is. Remember, Superman is the number one movie in the world. Yep, and the world is only the U.S. with Alaska apparently, because every other country doesn't, it doesn't matter. Oh man, can an agenda be the result of lazy bad writing? I personally believe most of Hollywood doesn't know how to write women. Exact example would be Captain Marvel and Ray from Star Wars. Yeah, because they have agenda on their mind, and that's why Disney ended up firing all those writers and stuff like that, which is good. That's how you have to do sometimes. So you have to take action, and you need to do what you need to do. All right, so now let me talk about this update with my comic book and stuff like that. And first things first, I want to tell y'all, thank y'all. Thanks to each and every one of you, because we are here, we are growing, and we're strong. 2.5 thousand and growing. And that's incredible, honestly. To some of y'all, might be like, damn, that ain't nothing, this and that. That means a lot, because like I said, you all motivate me, you push me to do things with these videos, and you've seen it. We just recently had a live stream, and it didn't go as planned, but we're still going, and that's the important part. It's thanks to each and every one of you, wherever you are around the world, whether it's daytime, it's nighttime, whatever weather conditions and stuff you're going. This is a community that I want for us to be, where we can hang out, talk, say what we want respectfully. You're entitled to your opinion. It's just you have to come and say it right. I have to delete comments sometimes because people like to cross the line, but we're not focusing on that. We're doing what we have to do, and we're fighting for a good cause, and that's what matters. People like that. The fans are here, on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. You see how the progress is going, and it just shows what you all are interested in, what you like, and stuff like that. And with that being said, I know a few months ago, sometime last year, probably like towards like October, November, I spoke about it. I said I'm gonna be working on something. Now it's official. So it's crazy because look, at 2.5 thousand followers, this all just fell into play. This was just crazy. This is what I'm telling you. I don't plan things. Look, 2.5 thousand followers on July 25th, 2025. With that, I finally have the official name. I'm going to be showing y'all very soon because I'm just working on the website and some things. So once everything goes up to so you can check it out and stuff like that, it'll be official. Everything is straight up there, and I'm excited. I'm excited, and like I've been telling y'all, this is going to be. If you enjoy and you love what Zack Snyder has done, I'm getting inspiration from that. I'm getting inspiration from what he does because I'm gonna be honest with you. Zack Snyder is the blueprint. WB isn't going to tell you that. Marvel isn't going to tell you that. Netflix isn't going to tell you that. But I am. I am. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Zack Snyder is ahead of the game in this industry. And if you're not up to date and you're not seeing what he's doing, you're way behind in line. And he's the blueprint. So, what do I mean by he's the blueprint? What he has built, what he has established is just motivation for me to now do my thing and be like, you know what? I already know what we like. And when I say we, is for the fans that like what DC used to be. what Marvel used to be, what the comic industry used to be, what this whole entertainment business used to be, because this industry has been lacking that for the longest. For years, they've been moving away from real good entertainment, and they just want to cater and focus to everything that has to do to an agenda. I won't get into it. I'm not interested. I am not focused on that. I'm bringing to each and every one of you, and I'm talking to you individually, wherever you are. This comic that I'm working on is going to be something different, original, but it's going to still have those elements of what you see within Zack Snyder's work. What do I mean by that? You're going to see that it's not, like how, oh, it's all full of comedy. Oh, it's a joke here, it's a joke there. No, no, no. It's going to be on a take that it's going to be different in its own, because everything has been done in this industry. Nobody can say, oh, this character is unique, this character is different. No, they're all the same thing. Now, how is the story going to fully unfold? I don't really know. And that's the beauty part of it. I'll tell you why. Because if I sit here and say, hey, look, I really do have a plan from here to 20 years, that's impossible. As we continue to grow with your support in every way, shape, and form, whether it's financial, hey, what if this or that, speculate this and that, these characters they're going to start taking shape, and they're going to start forming on their own, meaning that what you, the fans, are giving the feedback. This is why I do these polls, because I want to know what you're interested in. Do you want this? Do you want that? A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm taking notes and I'm going with that. And I'm like, okay, the audience wants this. They don't want this. For sure, there's no agenda. There's nothing that has to do with type of messages of whatsoever. It's just going to be good old fashioned entertainment. And what I mean by that is that yes, we are going to see a new hero in this universe. We're going to see why this character does what he does, his motives, why he does this, what's affecting him. Does he have a weakness? Yes, everybody has a weakness. Every character in every universe has a weakness, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, whatever it is. This character is going to be the same. I want him to be something where you, as the reader, as the viewer, are able to say, you know what? Damn. Okay, yeah, that could be happening. That can take place, in today's world. Those things can really be happening. And that's what I want you to get into this world with, not the open mind that I want to say, but I want you to go in knowing that you're going to explore something, that it's going to be setting up something different in the sense of this universe, but still you're going to be seeing a lot of influence from what Zack Snyder has done in the sense of what we've seen in his movies and what we've seen with his work and stuff like that. So taking bits and elements from those type of things, throw them all into a pot, and you cook it. That's exactly what I'm going to be able to serve up and be like, look, this is what we're getting. And you're going to see a lot of things are going to be different in the sense of, damn, this was the idea you had for WB, and they could have done something. But instead of me giving them my idea, I just say, you know what? I'm not going to give them my ideas. I'm going to go ahead, put them into my original story so they don't, try to pull any funny tricks, and we can all enjoy it together. And it's something that I wanted, you know, to really bring to y'all, because like I said, this is why I do these polls. I want to be able to like completely bring something that's going to be original, but at the same time it's not going to be boring, because it's going to be like, all right, cool. I like this journey. I like where this is heading. I want to know what's going to happen next. And then from there, it's all on its own, building up. It's setting something up, but at the same time, it's all connected. I'm not really much focused on the multiverse. Maybe later down the road, but I'm not focused on that right now. I'm just focused on this one main character and why, what's going to happen, on what's taking place with these events. And just when you see, once I it's gonna be obvious, you're gonna see, damn, okay, I see the influence from Zack Snyder big time with the title of the name and stuff like that, and the characters and stuff like that. It's gonna be something where you're gonna be like, damn, okay, yeah, like this is gonna be fun. That's it. This is going to be fun. It's going to be something original, something new, something. in the sense that it's gonna be like, you know what, your attention isn't going to just be like, oh, you're reading and oh, I'm bored. Oh, like what's gonna happen? Let's get to the good part. Nah, like you're gonna get into it like right away and stuff like that. First issue, I'm planning right now first just to do a digital, and probably I'll do a limited run, to see if you whoever wants to buy a physical copy of it, I'll sign it and stuff like that once it's official with the real copy paperback and stuff like that. But the first one's gonna be digital, and of course, I'm gonna put it out there, 2 pages from the actual, what is it, the comic itself, so you can see, what's going on, what's taking place in the story. So there's been a lot of work that I've been putting into it. The hardest thing of this whole thing, it's not the art, it's not about the characters, it's one, coming up with the name. That's the most difficult thing that there is to anything out there. And two, being able to say, all right, if I deliver this, some fans are going to be happy, others are going to be unhappy. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not here to please every fan. I'm just here to please fans that can appreciate this type of work, this type of story. Now, if you're looking for some type of agenda, that this is not, you're not going to find this in this book that I'm working in. And if you're looking for some type of, oh, it has a political message, you're definitely not finding that in this. This story is about these characters, what their journey is going to be, why it's happening, what's coming. Because I'm gonna tell you straight up, like in this story, I'll be real with you. There's a big war coming, and there's a reason why these characters are going to be taking place. As things start to open and unfold and connect, it's just it's crazy, it's wild. But at the same time, like, damn, you know what? Like, I'm getting a little too ahead of myself, but it's leading into things later on, and that's what I want y'all to enjoy. To be able to say, you know what, damn, this is pretty interesting, and most of all, is entertaining. Because the key word that I'm trying to focus on is entertainment, something that this industry has not been doing for years. And that's why this industry and this market is the way where it's at right now. And as we continue to move forward, it's time to stand up against, these corporations and these big companies that they really don't care about us. They just care about our money. But I'm a fan too. So by me being a fan, interacting and talking with Sean, chatting and stuff, and reading the polls and things like that, it's already, it's time. It's time. So what I'm doing now is just preparing some stuff, some exclusive drawings. So once I put it all together, I'll be able to, like make a clip or something like that, just to present y'all and for you to enjoy. So keep on the look. Probably I'm looking, if time frame and everything is right, probably next month. That's probably like in 3 weeks. So probably within, the next 3 weeks or so, we'll be seeing something. Sometime in August, something should be already officially for you to see. And then of course, once that's already announced, I'm wrapping up the last pages, drawing, putting the ink, and everything you're gonna see. That's not even like AI, and it's not digital. That's straight up hand drawn. Everything is going to be hand drawn by me. All the art and stuff like that. So it's not computerized. It's not none of that. They're all the legit drawings and sketches and stuff that I've done. So when you see the final product in that comic, um, you're gonna be getting something authentic. It's not gonna be something where it's like, yeah, run it in the machine and then print out like some copies and stuff like that. Nah, like this is straight up like I'm putting passion into this, for y'all to enjoy and stuff like that. So I can't wait to fully reveal and let y'all know what it's going to be, how it's going to be all taking place. And I'm sure once you start reading it and seeing it, you on your own will be able to see that and be like, damn, I see exactly what the influence is on this, on this page as I'm reading, and you turn to the next one and stuff like that. So, but with that being said, like I said, keep posted because I can't wait to finally share with y'all. But here we are, 2.5 thousand and growing. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in, for watching. And like I always say, let's keep going and let's keep growing. You already know the model. I'm going to catch you on the next one. I thank y'all for watching. And until next time, peace.